that's so. Listen, I'm 60 years old. He's 27. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're older than he is, but you are Mike Tyson and he isn't.
Exactly. I started to, matter of fact, I started. Thank you. I started Jake Paul off.
Can I ask you, how did you start him off?
On my fight with Roy Jones, I allowed him to fight on the card, and I decided I started him, and I'm going to finish him.
You think that he could last a long time with you, go into the later rounds?
I'd be surprised if he even makes it out of 2 rounds.
You'd be surprised if he makes it out of 2 rounds.
Yeah, I just have too much power, too much speed, and with my coaching staff the past 1.5 years, working with them every single day, I've become literally a new fighter.
Good instructions given by the ref in the early going. Mike gets it with the right hand, and ATN is down. He was really nailed with a punch right hand. It's up the
punches you were hitting him with. You are just so destructive.
Yeah, I don't know how he took all those, but
and I too. We're getting ready for you. Same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man the f*** out.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the latest drama surrounding Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Jake Paul is reportedly in full-on panic mode after Mike Tyson announced new fight details. Is the problem child about to get his world rocked? Let's find out. Jake Paul has been on a meteoric rise in the boxing world. From his early days fighting fellow YouTubers to taking on retired MMA stars, Paul has always been in the spotlight. His recent decision to ditch a previous fight to take on Mike Perry raised eyebrows and apparently ruffled Mike Tyson's feathers. Paul's victory over Mike Perry was supposed to set the stage for his next big challenge. However, this move didn't sit well with Tyson, who saw it as a slight. The baddest man on the planet is now more determined than ever to put Paul in his place. In a recent interview, Mike Tyson dropped a bombshell on Jake Paul. Not only did he announce new fight rules, but he also exposed Jake's dirty tactics. Tyson's experience and knowledge of the sport mean he knows every trick in the book, and he's making sure Jake can't use any of them in their upcoming fight. Mike Tyson, I've been in this game for 38 years. You think I don't know every secret nook and cranny to dig up someone's dirt? Jake Paul's decision to ditch his previous fight to take on Mike Perry was a slap in the face. Now, he's going to regret it. Jake Paul, known for his love of drama and trash talk, turned up the heat after Tyson's announcement. He called Tyson old, a sick chicken, and even dragged Tyson's family into the mix. But Tyson, cool as a cucumber, didn't fire back with insults. Instead, he quietly prepared, waiting for the right moment to strike. Jake Paul, I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man out. Jake's bravado might come back to haunt him. The problem child is now in full-on panic mode, sweating bullets as he realizes the gravity of his situation.
More weight equals more power. I'm coming for you, Tyson. Ah! Terrible. Derek, what the fuck?
That's not my fault. That's not my.
Okay, you're gonna beat this kid, Jake Paul?
Very badly.
You know he's in his prime. He's fat.
I'm not fat.
He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky.
Welcome back to Quick Rundowns.
promising that this one will not. That was a shot. That was a shot.
Capital task, the referee.
This man on the planet.
The boxing community has had enough of influencer boxing and is backing Iron Mike. Tyson's return is seen as a chance to restore respect to the sport. Here's what some legends have to say. Evander, Holyfield, Mike's got the experience and the power. Jake's got some serious punch power, but it's not enough to put him in the same ring as Mike Tyson. Lennox Lewis Jake Paul is a YouTuber who stumbled into boxing. Tyson, on the other hand, is a boxing encyclopedia. There's no comparison. Tyrone Woodley Jake's got to screw loose, man. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles Iron Mike. Both fighters are in intense training camps. Tyson's workouts are a reminder of his legendary status, while Paul's dedication shows he's taken this fight seriously. Tyson, even at 57, is training like he's still in his prime.
Me too. We're getting ready for you.
His rigorous regimen is a testament to his determination. Remember when he recently had a health emergency? That's because he's pushing himself to the limit. Jake Paul is also training hard, but is it enough? His claims of knocking Tyson out might just be all talk. Boxing isn't just about throwing punches, it's about strategy, footwork, and defense. Tyson, with decades of experience, is a master strategist. Jake, on the other hand, is still learning the basics. Boxing analyst One Tyson's ring IQ is unmatched. He can read his opponent, anticipate their moves, and adjust on the fly. Boxing analyst 2 Jake has power, but he lacks the strategy and experience Tyson possesses. It's like comparing a high school football player to an NFL pro.
Do you think you can knock him out?
Can I ask you a question?
I think there's a very high chance of that.
Kind of insulting. It's brave, it's bold of him, but it's also, it's like, Jesus Christ, there's levels.
You have your arm, you have your chest.
Paul can crack. Yeah. 100%. That knockout of Tyron Woodley is legit as fuck. He can crack.
Jake fought a guy who was his age and who was also considered a boxer, and he lost.
So if you can keep fighting fucking 50-something-year-olds.
You don't think Tyson has a chance?
And making a living at it. I think that Mike Tyson has a puncher's chance against any.
Do you think you can knock him out?
Can I ask you a question?
I think there's a very, very high chance of that.
You think you can knock out Mike Tyson?
He's not the same. He's not the same fighter that he once was, and he knows that.
Stop it, bro. Alex, you think you can beat up every white guy? What are you talking about?
I think it's a great fight. I think it is a great fight for that exact reason. Me boxing on the outside, him trying to come forward to knock me out. I have one punch power. He has one punch power. Who wins?
The night of November 15th promises to be unforgettable. Fans are eagerly waiting to see if Paul can defy the odds and defeat a legend, or if Tyson will show that he's still the baddest man on the planet. With every passing day, the anticipation for this fight grows.
Day 2, we're getting ready for you.
These are real fights. Boxing isn't just a game. If you're not 100% prepared, you're going to get hurt. This isn't some YouTube prank, it's real life, and Jake needs to understand that. Let's jump to Rogan's reaction. Don't get me wrong. The UFC commentator isn't a hater. He gives the problem child credit where it's due. You can't deny that Jake has given us some epic knockouts. I'm sure you've seen his fights with Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren. Paul can crack minus 100%. That knockout of Tyron Woodley is legit as ____. He can crack. However, he's in deep waters after his recent sparring mishap. Take it from Rogan, the kid has worked hard and he's taken on some tough opponents. But this knockout is a wake-up call. There's a big difference between fighting other celebrities or retired athletes and stepping into the ring with a real seasoned professional boxer. Jake needs to understand that. Come on. You can't compare fighting Mike Tyson to a fight with Tommy Fury or Nate Diaz. He's up against the baddest man on the planet this time, and that's not something you can rule out. Rogan's recent verbal jabs at Jake Paul's approach to training and fighting have everyone talking. The UFC commentator believes that Jake might be getting too cocky and not respecting the sport enough, and he's not alone. Fans have noticed this too. Paul hasn't taken his fight with Tyson seriously. Even for a second, ever since it was announced, he's treating this like he's stepping into the ring with a newbie. Jake's got a problem with crossing that overconfidence line, but this time he has really taken things too far. Do you think you can knock him out? I think there's a very high chance of that. He's not the same fighter that he once was, and he knows that. Jake said, but this overconfidence might just be his downfall. On the other hand, Mike Tyson, the 57-year-old beast, is gearing up like he's preparing for his debut. There's a reason why Mike's considered the best boxer of all time. He's got a champion's mindset, which means he gives every single fight his blood, sweat, and tears. No matter who the opponent is, even in a clash with Jake Paul, he's training like a beast. Mike's training footage compared to Jake's sparring fail is a wake-up call for the YouTuber-turned-boxer, to say the least. This performance has raised a lot of eyebrows in the fight world, and boxing pros are hopping on the bandwagon to share their 2 cents on the whole fiasco. Very few have praised Jake Paul for finally stepping in with tough opponents, while many others are on the same page as Rogan and believe that Jake might be in over his head. UFC president Dana White always has something to say about Jake, and he has weighed in. White has been against the Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul matchup since day one. He's a strong believer that Mike should stay out of the ring for good and respect his age. He believes that Paul is making a dirty move. Jake Paul's rise in boxing has had a significant impact on the sport. On one hand, he has brought new attention and viewership to boxing, attracting a younger audience who might not have otherwise been interested. On the other hand, his fights have sparked a debate about the integrity of the sport and the rise of celebrity boxing. Joe Rogan boxing is about skill, dedication, and genuine competition. What Jake Paul is doing might be entertaining, but it's not real boxing. Celebrity boxing is not a new phenomenon, but the scale and attention that Jake Paul has brought to it are unprecedented. His ability to generate buzz and draw viewers has made him a polarizing figure in the boxing world. Some see him as a disruptor, bringing fresh energy to the sport, while others see him as a threat to its traditions and values. Fans' reactions were like, I think Jake Paul is great for boxing. He's bringing in new fans and making the sport exciting again. Another one added, Jake Paul is a joke. He's not a real boxer and his fights are just spectacles. It's not what boxing is supposed to be about. The announcement of a fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson sent shockwaves through the boxing community. The match was billed as a clash of generations, with Tyson's legendary status and raw power pitted against Jake's youth and social media prowess. Mike Tyson, despite being 58, has shown remarkable physical condition in his recent training sessions. His dedication to maintaining his fitness and training with top coaches like Rafael Cordeiro has kept him in impressive shape. Joe Rogan Mike Tyson is still a beast. His power is the last thing to go, and he's training with some of the best in the business. Age might slow him down, but he's still dangerous. The fight was set to be a major event, drawing interest from both boxing fans and casual viewers. However, concerns about Tyson's health and readiness began to surface. Despite his impressive training, Tyson had been dealing with various health issues, leading some to question whether he should be stepping into the ring at all. Mike Tyson, I love this sport. It's given me so much and I want to give back. If that means stepping into the ring again, then so be it. The controversy reached its peak when Jake Paul announced he was pulling out of the fight. The news sent shockwaves through the boxing community, with many accusing Jake of running away from a real challenge. Joe Rogan's reaction was immediate and intense, condemning Jake for what he saw as a cowardly move. Joe Rogan, this is a cowardly move. Jake Paul has shown his true colors today, and it's disgraceful. Running away from Mike Tyson? Come on, man. The backlash was swift, with fans and analysts alike questioning Jake's commitment to boxing. Some saw it as a smart business decision, avoiding a potentially career-ending fight, while others saw it as proof that Jake wasn't ready to face real competition. A fan mentioned, "I can't believe Jake pulled out. He talked such a big game, and now he's running away. What a joke." Another added, "Honestly, it's probably smart. Tyson would have destroyed him. Jake's just protecting his brand." The debate about celebrity boxing versus traditional boxing has been reignited by Jake Paul's career. On one side, there are those who believe that celebrity boxing is bringing new attention and excitement to the sport. On the other side, there are purists who believe that these fights are undermining the integrity of boxing. Joe Rogan, boxing is a sport with a rich history and real athletes who dedicate their lives to it. Celebrity boxing might bring in views, but it undermines the hard work and dedication of true boxers. Celebrity boxing matches are often seen as spectacles designed more for entertainment than genuine competition. While they can draw large audiences and generate significant revenue, they can also overshadow traditional boxing matches and devalue the achievements of professional boxers. Boxing analyst celebrity boxing has its place, but it shouldn't be seen as a replacement for real competition. These matches can be fun, but they don't represent the skill and dedication required to succeed in professional boxing. The rise of celebrity boxing also raises questions about the motivations of those involved. Are these fighters genuinely interested in the sport, or are they simply looking for another platform to boost their fame and fortune? This is a question that has been central to the criticism of Jake Paul's career. Joe Rogan, Jake Paul is a smart marketer, but let's be real, fighting other YouTubers and celebrities doesn't make you a professional boxer. It's entertainment, not sportsmanship. So what's next for Jake Paul? Will he continue to seek out high-profile but less challenging fights, or will he finally step up and face a real boxer in his prime? For now, Jake Paul remains one of the most polarizing figures in boxing. His ability to draw attention and generate buzz is undeniable, but his place in the sport is still hotly debated. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying that Jake Paul has changed the conversation around boxing. Joe Rogan, Jake Paul is a phenomenon, no doubt, but if he wants real respect in the boxing world, he needs to face real competition. Jake's future in boxing will likely depend on his willingness to take on more challenging opponents. If he continues to fight non-boxers or those past their prime, he will continue to face criticism and skepticism. However, if he steps into the ring with a legitimate contender and proves himself, he could earn the respect of the boxing community. Jake Paul, I'm not afraid of a challenge. I know I have a lot to prove, and I'm ready to take on anyone. I want to show the world that I'm serious about this sport. And what about Mike Tyson? Despite his age, Tyson remains a formidable force in the boxing world. His dedication to training and maintaining his physical condition is inspiring, and many still see him as a dangerous opponent, even at 58. Tyson's return to the ring, even in exhibition capacity, has brought a renewed interest in his career and legacy. Whether or not the fight with Jake Paul ever happens, Tyson's impact on the sport remains undiminished. Mike Tyson, I love this sport. It's given me so much, and I want to give back. If that means stepping into the ring again, then so be it. Tyson's legacy is secure, but his continued involvement in boxing raises important questions about the future of the sport. Can older fighters still compete at a high level, or should they focus on other ways to contribute to the sport? Boxing historian Mike Tyson is a legend, and his impact on boxing is undeniable. While it's great to see him still involved, we also need to consider the risks and the importance of preserving his health and legacy. Joe Rogan's critique of Jake Paul has resonated with many in the boxing community. His concerns about the integrity of the sport and the rise of celebrity boxing have sparked important conversations about the future of boxing. Joe Rogan, boxing is about skill, dedication, and genuine competition. What Jake Paul is doing might be entertaining, but it's not real boxing. Rogan's voice is influential, and his willingness to speak out against what he sees as a threat to boxing's integrity is commendable. Whether you agree with him or not, Rogan's passion for the sport is undeniable, and his critiques have helped keep the conversation about boxing's future alive. Boxing analyst Joe Rogan's critiques are important because they come from a place of genuine love and respect for the sport. He's not just criticizing for the sake of it, he wants to see boxing treated with the respect it deserves. As the debate about celebrity boxing continues, voices like Joe Rogan's will play a crucial role in shaping the future of the sport. It's essential to find a balance between entertainment and genuine competition, ensuring that boxing remains a respected and beloved sport. Joe Rogan, boxing has a rich history, and it deserves to be treated with respect.
Same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
When you see Mike Tyson hitting them pads, you get a little nervous.
Here we are. Yeah, you know, here we are. You fought against yourself and you won today.
Yes.
Look the way he reacts. Days like that make a lot of difference in life. He fought against himself today. He came, he did the best training of the ring. Why? Because he knew it.
Mike's fitness coach says Mike's training is incredibly intense. He's in the gym multiple times a day, working on everything from his footwork to his punching power. The goal is to get him into peak physical condition, but the risk is that the body can only handle so much, especially at his age. But despite his rigorous training, Tyson's body is not what it once was. Aging brings a natural decline in physical capabilities, and the stress of high-intensity workouts can take a toll. Tyson's recent knockout during sparring is a stark reminder of these challenges.
I thought Mike I don't know. Mike was a little bit weird. When he was pushing me, though, he was having the time of his life.
Yeah, so when Jake and Mike did their face-to-face at the end of the press conference, first thing Mike did was come up to Jake, started throwing punches, some pushes.
He's like giggling and smiling and shit.
Last press run for Mike when the fight was first on, you were tubby. Like, you were the tubbiest I've seen Jake. So I can't blame him for calling you tubby.
Peak male performance bod is fat.
The question now is whether Tyson's body can withstand the demands of another high-stakes fight. Mike Tyson said, "I'm giving it everything I've got. I know my body isn't what it used to be, but I'm determined to prove that I still have what it takes to compete at the highest level. This fight means everything to me." The knockout has raised serious questions about Tyson's health and the future of his fight against Jake Paul. With November 15th rapidly approaching, fans and analysts are left wondering if Tyson will be able to recover in time. The impact of this knockout extends beyond Tyson's personal health. It affects the entire fight, including the preparations of Jake Paul and the broader boxing landscape. If Tyson's injury is serious, it could mean a postponement or even cancellation of the fight. This would be a major disappointment for fans who have been eagerly anticipating this showdown. The timing is crucial. Tyson needs to recover quickly and effectively. Any delays or complications could jeopardize not just the fight, but also Tyson's legacy and Jake Paul's plans. For Jake Paul, the prospect of facing an injured Tyson presents both challenges and opportunities. On one hand, an injured Tyson might make the fight more manageable. On the other, the uncertainty surrounding Tyson's condition could disrupt Paul's preparations. Paul's team is closely monitoring the situation, and the potential changes could significantly impact their strategy and training. Jake Paul, known for his transition from YouTube stardom to professional boxing, has been preparing diligently for this bout.
Said that.
Think again. This is Mike Tyson we're talking about, not some wannabe trying to make a name for himself on social media.
Do you think he's ever stood across from a man with the sort of intentions you can have inside a ring?
Well, he may have been in the ring with people with the same intention, but the actuality, no.
Joe Rogan, who else can do it but Mike? Who's he going to fight? We got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived. Do you think he's ever stood across from a man with the sort of intentions Mike can have inside a ring? Maybe he's been in the ring with people with the same intention, but the actual power? No way. Should he be scared? Very, very scared.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing steroids. I do think there's something wrong with lying about it. He's in savage mode right now. He's in savage mode. If I was Jake Paul right now, I would be shitting my pants. I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time. I don't think anybody fucks with him.
Joe Rogan, the man himself, is fascinated by Tyson's training and power. And let's face it, if Joe Rogan is impressed, you know it's legit. Rogan knows fighters. He's been around the block, seen his fair share of tough guys. But Tyson? He's on another level. It's like comparing a house cat to a lion. Sure, there are naysayers out there, the ones who claim Tyson's time is over, that he's just a mitt warrior looking good for the cameras but lacking real substance. They say the Instagram videos are cute, but when it comes to actual fighting, he won't last. Well, November 15th is the date, folks. That's when we'll see if Tyson still has it, if the legend can still deliver like he did in his prime. Do you think Tyson can knock Jake Paul out in November? Drop your predictions in the comments and hit like if you hope he does. Let's be real for a second. Watching Tyson in these sparring sessions, it's clear he hasn't lost his touch. He's not just throwing punches, he's strategizing, he's playing chess in there. Each movement, each jab, each hook, it's calculated. He's making his opponent work, tiring him out, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when he does, boom, it's lights out. Take a look at this punch. Tyson comes in, ducks under a jab, and delivers a left hook to the body. You can see the pain in his opponent's eyes. And that's just a sparring session. Imagine what he'll do when the stakes are real, when it's not just training, but a fight with a crowd, with millions watching. Now, I know some of you are thinking, yeah, Tyson's strong, but can he really handle a full fight? What about his stamina? His endurance? Well, here's the thing, Tyson's power isn't just in his punches. It's in his presence. Being in the ring with him is like standing next to a volcano. You know it can erupt at any moment, and when it does, you better be ready. Each punch is like a sledgehammer. Each hit echoes around the gym. Tyson isn't just training for a comeback, he's training to prove a point. That even at his age, he's still got what it takes. he's still a force to be reckoned with. And trust me, folks, after watching this sparring footage, you'll agree Tyson's not just back, he's better than ever. Of course, not everyone's convinced. Some say Tyson's too old, that he's past his prime, that these sparring sessions are just smoke and mirrors. But for every critic, there are 10 fans who believe. They've seen the footage, they've heard the power in his punches. And they know Iron Mike is still Iron Mike.
Jake Paul's desperation is reaching new levels as Mike Tyson's momentum is on the rise. With no sign of the boxing legend backing down, the problem child is starting to panic. Tyson's hype train is out of control. Every day it feels like Tyson's getting stronger, faster, and more intimidating. Meanwhile, Jake's confidence is taking a nosedive. He's trying to stay tough on social media, but you can see the fear in his eyes. This guy is way over his head. Tyson's got the whole world behind him. It's like a David and Goliath situation, except David's got a better chance. The YouTuber-turned boxer is trying everything to throw Tyson off his game, but it's like water off a duck's back. Tyson's just getting stronger, and the closer we get to the fight, the more terrifying he becomes. When you see Mike Tyson hitting those pads, you get a little nervous. He's running at lightning speed today. He definitely is looking like an animal. People are underestimating me though, because when I go to his comments, they're just saying if Mike loses, then fighting is rigged, because they see how good he looks. Jake Paul is losing sleep. November 15th, 2024, that's the date circled on everyone's calendar. A clash of eras, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, live from the ET Stadium. Sounds epic, right? Well, for Jake, it's a nightmare slowly becoming reality. Fighting Mike Tyson isn't just a boxing match, it's a survival test, and the closer we get to fight night, the more terrified Jake seems to be. Tyson's momentum is unstoppable. He's training like a beast, dropping hints about his newfound power, and sending shivers down Jake's spine with every social media post. It's like Tyson is enjoying every second of this, toying with Jake's mind, and it's working. Jake's trying to stay tough, but the cracks in his facade are starting to show. Tyson's a predator, and Jake's just hoping to survive the hunt. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is mounting. This fight has the potential to be one of the biggest in boxing history, but for Jake Paul, it could be the end of his career. As Jake himself said, "I'm not scared, I'm excited, but his trembling hands tell a different story." I mean, let's be honest, have you seen Tyson's brutal training videos? These video warnings have been making rounds on the internet, and if I was Jake Paul, I'd be trembling in my boots too. Mike Tyson is in beast mode. The guy's 58, but he's moving like he's 25. His workouts are straight out of a superhero movie. He's got that old school power combined with a new school agility. It's like he's rediscovered the fountain of youth in the gym. I mean, have you seen his speed bag work? It's insane. And his power? Forget about it. Every punch is like a hammer. Tyson's not just throwing punches, he's sculpting them. His technique is
More weight equals more power. I'm coming for you, Tyson.
Ah! Terrible.
Derek, what the fuck?
That's not my fault. That's not my.
Okay, you're gonna beat this kid, Jake Paul?
Very badly.
You don't know he's in his prime, he's fat.
I'm not fat.
He should be lean and mean, he's fat and funky.
Welcome back to Quick Rundowns.
Promising that this one will not. That was a shot. That was a shot. Capital task. The referee.
This man on the planet.